dating exhaustion. How to take a break. Hello and welcome to Chengi's World. I am Chengi, and of course you, my precious one, are my world. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. And if you are coming back, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, do leave any questions that you have for me if you're new to my channel. Just let me know who you are, where you are watching from, and if you have any video suggestions that you would like me to do, or if you have a question about this video in particular, I'm always in the comments answering and making sure that I am clear, because sometimes I record a video and then I forget to say something, or I don't always elaborate on the issues that I think you might need to know. Especially if you're new to my channel, I might assume that you have followed a lot of my work and you know what I'm talking about. So we're not going to make those assumptions. Just use the comment section below and I will absolutely get back to you. For those of you who are coming back, you know I love you, you know I do. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for hitting that like button, and thank you so much for being in my world and supporting this great work. Right, so we all get into a position where we get tired, right? You go on dating apps and you've been swiping all day, and maybe you've gone on a few dates and you have had a few false starts. That means you think, oh my God, I think he might be the one. And then turns out he's a jerk, a moron, or a time waster. And so that in repetition can begin to weary out our emotional space. Now, dating fatigue is something that happens to the best of us. And it happens for a few reasons. Number one, some people haven't really done any work on themselves prior to getting on the app. So you are coming in thirsty, needy, and you're just not getting what it is that you want straight away. Your attitude can also cause you to have dating fatigue, because we have to understand as we approach online dating that nobody wants to do it. Nobody on that app wants to be on it, and nobody wants to actually be there. People are not on dating apps because they would rather meet online. They're on dating apps because meeting offline is becoming more and more difficult, especially with lockdowns, especially with the way that the world has become. So please understand as you go towards the dating online that everybody is miserable about the idea of being there. And this is why it's so much more important for you to understand that we all hate it, we all have to be here, so let's try and enjoy it. And having an attitude that the internet is no different from the real world. You can go to a party and not get picked up or have anybody approach you. You can go to a party and look around and think, where are the great guys? They're just none. Okay, so these things might be happening a bit faster because you're swiping quicker, or you are sort of looking around quicker, and maybe you are dating a lot offline. But of course, again, we're gonna have to use the digital space for us to really get to know each other until lockdowns change, whichever part of the world that you are in. Some of you might be coming into first lockdowns, some of you might be used to it, like those of us in the United Kingdom. But whatever the case is, we are all wanting to connect. So having an attitude that we all feel crappy about it, but we all have to partake and connect in some way, shape or form. And of course, if you want to know all the wonderful things about dating in the pandemic, the things to do and not to do, I have videos on this channel that talk about dating in the pandemic and some of the things that you can do to make it worth your while and enjoy it. Talking about, you've done it, you've shown up, and you've had these conversations, and now you're starting to think you're going to be alone forever. You're like, I'm gonna die alone. If things keep going in this direction, I'm gonna die alone. If that's how you're feeling, and you're feeling like there's just nothing, there are billions of people, millions of people on dating apps and you can't find one, don't despair. This is absolutely normal. Don't expect to go on a dating app or to be in this world and not have disappointment. And one of the things that I teach my girls is to be comfortable in the discomfort. You know, you need to learn to sit in those feelings and not let them feel like something is happening to you, but understand that this is the area of growth. Okay, learning to sit in uncomfortable emotions, not great emotions, is the true skill of a high value woman. She doesn't feel differently from another woman. We sometimes think that the high value woman has got a different emotional makeup to every other woman. She's just trained herself to be comfortable in the discomfort. She's trained herself to be comfortable in not always getting what she wants, not always getting it right, and the feelings of discomfort. She doesn't react to them. She doesn't act because of them. She understands that the landscape operates like this. It's going to be disappointing, but she's not going to take that experience and define her value, what she is worth, and what she is capable of getting out of the world and out of relationships. So it's really important that you understand that. But on a really practical note, it's really worth you journaling. I'm going to talk about journaling a lot in 2021 and moving forward, because I am an avid journaler, and I sort of started to taper off over the years, but I've really come back into it because it's really, really important for you to list and write down. Lists, another important thing for me, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. But it's really important for you to write down the actual things that are bothering you. What is it that has got you exhausted? Exactly what is it? What are the patterns emerging? Do you always speak to these sort of guys? And then to really list how many men you've actually had an encounter with. Okay, because the thing is, I've spoken to some of you girls and I've heard, oh, I'm tired, and I keep speaking to these guys and I'm not really getting anywhere, and they just ghost me, and And then when I ask, okay, how many exactly have you spoken to? 3, right? Sometimes those 3 you may have overinvested, or you may have put too many of your emotional eggs in those 3 baskets, and so it feels like you have been dating 30 men and not going anywhere. But those numbers are really very low for a woman who actually wants to give herself the most opportunities. Then 3 guys in 3 months worth of online dating or offline dating is really not enough of a spectrum to therefore decide. So, but until you see it or somebody says it back to you, like only 3, you are unlucky with men and you've only dated 3 men, 2 men sometimes, and you've decided that from the experience of these 2 men, they're no good men and you're unlucky in love. Okay, but until you can coach yourself, until you can write that down. I've spoken to 3 guys, and those 3 guys, 7 guys, 30 guys, 20 guys, 100 guys, and what has exhausted me is they all want to just get laid. This is what I'm picking up. So then you have to think, how am I showing up? How am I showing up in that space and in that place? How am I showing up for 100 men to give me that feedback? Because you see, what's happening as you are dating is you are receiving feedback. Feedback is coming to you. The men that are gravitating to you are gravitating to the energy output that you are putting out. So now, instead of being exhausted and feeling sorry for yourself, you can begin now to work on it, because you see, suffering happens when we have unaddressed pain, and pain is really just a result of feeling like I don't understand what's happening and it's never going to end, right? But when you can break it down and interrogate that pain and interrogate that feeling of exhaustion, and really put it down on paper and kind of be statistical about it and really search your soul, you're going to find that much of it has little to do with dating itself and has more to do with some childhood trauma, some attachment issues that you have, and trying to self-regulate yourself psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. That is probably what has been exhausting you. And so if you find that you've dated 2 men or 3 men, or been on 3 calls in 6 months, and that's exhausted you, then what's really exhausting you is something a little bit deeper, in which case feel free to contact myself or any of my coaches for a discovery call. All you have to do is visit chengisworld.co.uk/shop. All the details are in the description link below. So you really want to get yourself whether it's a big A5 sheet of paper, whatever, and begin to write down what is happening. Now, once you look at it and think, okay, all of them want sex, then maybe you need to go through your profile and remove all the pictures with cleavage and on them, and maybe put on a different set of pictures. If it is about maybe the communication, look through and say, okay, what am I saying that might be leading them to think that they can talk to me this way? Or I might not be saying anything, but now that I've changed my pictures and my image, then maybe I can address it instead of feeling some kind of way. So if a man comes to you and he's just talking sex all the time, there's a way that you can address it with him. Again, the videos on my channel, Online Dating, and I've got some tips on how you can address it. But these are things that might possibly just need addressing, and men will take a turn. And my girls have come to me with, oh, he was talking about sex, and I said, oh, that's no way to talk to a lady, and oh, I'm so sorry, or I didn't mean to be, and let's start again. And therefore you kind of save yourself rather than, oops, bye, let me find one. So the things that you can do, but first of all, journal them, put them on a piece of paper, look at them unemotionally, because a piece of paper won't speak back to you. It's an unemotional place and space, and write down the things that have exhausted you. And when you see them on paper, you'll realize that you can overcome them. Then take a 7-day break. I always give my girls 7 days break, not more than that, because then you start to atrophy and you just start to fall into bad patterns. And in those 7 days, you want to change your exercise rhythm. You want to eat something different, maybe go on a body cleanse, hit the gym. Maybe you want to read a book that you've always wanted to read. Do something that brings back your happy. Bring back something that brings back your joy. And in those 7 days, just work on some of those things. Maybe do a photo shoot with a professional photographer. Nowadays, so affordable. Do a lifestyle shoot, put on something pretty, put on some makeup, and do some lifestyle shoots that you will then use for your socials and for your dating apps. And that will really lift a mood. If you have a great photographer, they'll remind you how beautiful and how wonderful you are. So those are the practical things that you can do. Go on a fast and pray for 7 days. That always does it for me. And it's so quick, sometimes 3 days and I'm back on. Okay, so these are some of the practical tools that you can do when you're feeling fatigued from dating and from relationships. And in those 7 days, you can work on some of the issues that you saw. You can take a spa break. You can pamper yourself. You can do all the things that you love to do, but only 7 days, and you get right back there. Get back on there. Get on that horse, girl. Get back on there. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. So go right back there and enjoy. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you need any resources, please feel free to go to my website, chengisworld.co.uk/shop, where you'll be able to download any tools that may be of further help, or book a discovery call with me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Mwah, mwah.